Hello from wherever you're watching. You're welcome to the news on NTA International, and we are live in Abuja. I am Juma Yusuf, and my interpreter Bamidele John is here to translate the news as it progresses. Now let's get the headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Nigerian Immigration Service to improve surveillance and control around the nation's borders and ensure that criminal elements don't find Nigeria as a safe haven. Federal government ready to roll out COVID-19 vaccines just as FCT Minister inspects upgraded oxygen supply facility. Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation to develop a $1.4 billion multi-purpose industrial platform project plans. And now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Nigerian Immigration Service to not only improve surveillance and control around the nation's borders, but also ensure that criminal elements don't find Nigeria as a safe haven to hide and perpetrate their criminality. The president, who gave the directive at the virtual inauguration of the Nigerian Immigration Service Technology Building, also instructed security agencies to raise their performance in protecting lives and property. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The 10 billion naira technology building, expected to serve as the command and control center of the Nigerian Immigration Service, provides a unique platform for security agencies in the country to see efforts towards addressing Nigeria's national security concerns. The edifice, robust in ICT infrastructure, is described as a huge contribution to global security, as both local and transnational criminal activities can be effectively monitored and nipped in the bud.
Mr. President, sir, this technology building could not have come at a better time than now, as it has placed the service in a vantage position to confront the criminal activities of terrorists, migrant smugglers, human traffickers, and our other transnational criminal activities who may want to use our route to commit crimes.
For President Muhammadu Buhari, the construction of the control center is in line with his administration's vision to formulate and implement policies that will protect and enhance the lives and living standards of Nigerians.
As a security agency, I charge you to be relentless in carrying out your statutory duties of keeping our borders safe while we ensure that criminal elements don't find Nigeria as a safe haven to hide and perpetrate their criminality. I urge you to actively collaborate with international security organizations like the Interpol in safeguarding our borders. Remember that a safe border is a prerequisite for a safe nation.
While insisting that the service must develop strong working relationship and ties with the international community and friendly nations as it relates to migration management, the president said the frontline workers in particular should remember that as windows to the world, they must show the best face of Nigeria at all times.
It is imperative that our ranking in the Global Security Index improves, and I am using this medium to call on all security agencies to step up their activities towards achieving this goal. I assure you that the administration will give the much needed support to you in your operations. I charge you not to rest on your present achievements, but strive to excel and make Nigeria proud.
The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, described the security challenges facing the country as temporal and surmountable, as the weakest link had been the land borders, and the technology building now in place will play a pivotal role in effective policing. He said 50% of all immigration personnel in Nigeria are now to work at the nation's borders. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Now, climate change is expected to displace millions of people, and engineers are worried that man may be pushing the planet towards ecological collapse. This was at the 2021 World Engineering Day in Abuja. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday reports.
Onyechi Okafor may be doing her business legitimately, but she is one of those emitting the 1/4 of global black carbon, which the United Nations says is the second largest contributor to climate change after carbon dioxide through log burning.
Firewood is no that easy because of the smoke that comes out of it. People always say that they like the firewood. It's the natural, the local taste that comes when you use firewood to cook, unlike gas.
Worried by this challenge and knowing that man cannot naturally be detached from his environment, Nigerian engineers joined their counterparts the world over towards ensuring they play their role in the achievement of the UN Sustainable Development Goals by ensuring a healthy planet.
As engineers, we know that the solution to make the planet healthier lies on us because we work for common good always.
If you keep adapting without mitigating, what you are doing is compounding the effects on the poor. Also, reducing carbon dioxide emission will not halt climate change in the immediate. Engineers need to start sustainable adaptation now.
Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, was recognized for his support and drive for local content.
The DG2, this will motivate him to do more. We want to address the issue of climate change too in NTA, because we operate with generator all the time. But I'm happy, we have started with our OB vans. We are using inverter. We are trying to see how we can integrate it into solar technology and it will reduce costs. So thank you very much. We are most
the adaptation and mitigation proposed by the forum is hoped will help change the cooking culture of Onyechi Okafor and prevent greenhouse gases and the global warming from rising to 2 degrees Celsius. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
And to speak more on the World Engineering Day is the Vice President, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Yakubu Ali Garba. Glad to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
Now let's look at the theme of the day, engineering for a healthy planet. Why was this theme chosen at this time when we're experiencing a new normal?
Yes, the World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development is declared by UNESCO. 4th of March of every year is marked as the World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. Now, 4 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals falls within the purview of engineers. Water and sanitation, infrastructure, innovations, as well as energy. Now, this year's theme is taking World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. That's engineering for healthy planet. Why healthy planet? Like we said in the afternoon, we need to change our ways. We need to conserve energy. We need to use renewable energy like the solar energy to reduce gas emission. Like you can see, even the world over now, cars are going on battery now, on electricity. All this is towards reducing the carbon dioxide emission into the planet. Again, as you can see, the global warming too has to do with water and sanitation. So the Nigerian engineers and the world engineers at large are always trying to provide solutions to the global warming. Now the healthy planet, we have a lot of roles to play in ensuring that we have a healthy planet. We are now engaged again in biomedicals. We have now biomedical engineering, ensuring that the planet is healthy. So it is the UNESCO and the World Engineering Federation organizations that declare today, 4th of March, as World Engineering Day. And this year's theme is World Engineering Day for
a healthy
planet.
Okay, if I might come in now, you know, they say technology is the new oil, and Nigeria is part of the Paris Accord. So what is the future as we try to achieve this, you know, amazing development? Is there a level playing ground for Nigerian engineers to be at par with engineers from the rest of the world?
Yes, is yes and no. Yes, in the sense that we, the Nigerian engineers, are always trying to catch up with our counterparts world over. But like I said in the afternoon, the problem we have is the confidence. We need the Nigerian public and the Nigerian government to have confidence in the Nigerian engineers. We can do it. Nigerian engineers are excelling world over. If you go to Europe, you go to the Americas, you meet Nigerian engineers excelling because the environment is provided and confidence is given. So we need the government to give us that confidence, to have confidence in us that we can deliver. The environment is there, but we need that confidence to achieve all our goals.
Okay, so now what role is it expected from the Nigerian engineers in the fight against climate change for a healthy planet? What can we do to, you know, go along with this UN Sustainability Plan, you know, of 11? Yes,
like the lecturer said this afternoon, there are a lot of our activities that we need to change. Particularly, we have to look into renewable energy to avoid, like, I remember the executive director of engineering, NTA, was saying that even the NTA yourselves are now trying to go into solar to avoid using generator, which is always, the generator waste is always a threat to the environment. So this is the way now. This is the way to go. We need to go into renewable energy. And of course, we need to look into our environment to avoid pollution.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, again, I said it this morning, you remember Engineer Suleiman Adamu, the Minister of Water Resources, spearheaded campaign against open defecation.
Yes.
That campaign against open defecation is to ensure healthy environment. Of course, that open defecation come along with a lot of diseases, waterborne disease, airborne disease, and so on and so forth. But if we eradicate that open defecation, all those threats will be eliminated. So these are some of the roles Nigerian engineers for now are taking, and there are a lot of innovations coming. Again, we are going into the universities to say, if you have anybody that have research documents, that have research on the renewable energy, we now bring in industry. That's we are bringing in industry and academia together, as well as the government. The academia have their research product. They will now say the industrialists should now come and fund that project so that it will become reality. We want to put the, this thing behind us, that a situation whereby researches are done and are kept in the library or are kept in archives without being implemented. We want those researches to be implemented, particularly as it relates to renewable energy.
Okay, we're really running out of time. I'm sure you've given us a lowdown of what you intend to do as the year progresses. Thank you so much, Yakubu Adigarba, Vice President, Nigerian Society of Engineers. Congratulations on celebrating your day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, moving on, the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology plans to bring together researchers, inventors, innovators, and investors with the aim of converting various research findings in the country to products and services. Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, who confirmed the 2021 Technology and Innovation Expo, said the program is a major instrument for the commercialization of research and development into products that are needed both at home and abroad.
Who are interested in inventions, innovations from research institutes, universities, federal and state MDAs, ministries, departments and agencies, polytechnics, industrial laboratories, private sector operators, the international community, Nigerians in the diaspora, and so on, to the Expo 2021 to showcase their inventions and innovations. I also invite students from all over the country to bring their inventions and innovations to this very important event.
The minister says the planning of the Expo has taken into consideration strict observance COVID-19 pandemic protocols and will take place from 15th to 19th March 2021 at the Eagle Square in Abuja. We'll take a break now. When we return, more reports. Do stay.
Latest entrant, latest technology. Welcome to Entel 4G LTE Advanced and experience super fast internet access today. Visit entel.com.ng or any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to get started. Entel. Live more.
As Nigeria finalizes arrangements to roll out the COVID-19 vaccines beginning Friday, the Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Ehenry, says the vaccination exercise, though a game changer, should not be regarded as the end of all other safety measures against the global pandemic. The minister was speaking at the second edition of the State House weekly briefing focusing on Nigeria's response to the COVID-19 pandemic in the last 1 year. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic in February last year, Nigeria, as at the 3rd of March this year, recorded a total confirmed cases of 156,963. Out of the number, 135,831 have been treated and discharged, while 1,939 people have died of the disease.
You will agree that with the leadership of Mr. President, Nigeria has actually mounted a very robust response to this outbreak. And you know, when things go wrong in our country, we often blame government. And when they go right, we thank God. But I think in this case, God may have walked a little bit through the leadership of our country to establish the mechanisms that have directed the robust response we've had so far.
And with the arrival of nearly 4 million doses of AstraZeneca last Tuesday, arrangements are now on to roll out the COVID-19 vaccines on Friday, with the frontline health workers as first beneficiaries. President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo are expected to be vaccinated on Saturday as a deliberate attempt at thwarting vaccine hesitancy, which is reported to be increasing worldwide.
I know there are so many countries that started vaccinating before Nigeria, but if you are to inquire, you will find that a lot of them did not wait for WHO emergency use listing. Some of them did not wait for some of the stringent regulatory agencies to certify these vaccines before they started using them. That is not what we're going to do in Nigeria. That is not what we have done. We've gone through a rigorous process, and we're pretty comfortable that the vaccines that we're going to be rolling out in the next couple of days are going to be safe and effective against the virus.
NAFDA Director General Professor Mojisola Adeyeye is reassuring Nigerians that the agency will not abdicate its responsibility of ensuring that only safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines are administered on them.
The lab staff took samples, and as we speak, they are working around the clock to test the vaccines. Without us saying it is okay, it cannot even be launched tomorrow. So I've been working with Dr. Faisal to ensure that by the end of the day or very early in the morning, we will say yes, it is okay.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Ehenry, maintains that it is in the interest of everyone that the whole country is vaccinated, saying no one is safe until all Nigerians are safe.
Look at vaccine as a game changer, the much awaited silver bullet that should take care of COVID-19. But I must give a warning right away that
it does not mean the end of all other measures. We are not going back on the non-pharmaceutical interventions or the public health measures. They must continue so that we continue to protect ourselves.
Dr. Ihenere also speaks on the lessons to be learned post-COVID-19.
We shall use these lessons to review the impact on our population health. We shall use it to consolidate our health system, to rebuild and especially reorganize our public health response and public health security, and review the changes that we need to make in our health system so that we can respond even better in future.
The third edition of the State House media briefing put together by the Presidential Communications team is scheduled for next week. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Now, new study suggests strong link between obesity and COVID-19 death rate, and the Supreme Court in Ghana upholds Akufo-Addo's election victory. Joyce Ometo has details of these and more on Global Update.
A report by the World Obesity Federation indicates that the death rate from COVID-19 is about 10 times higher in countries where half or more of the population is overweight. The report shows that being overweight is a highly significant predictor of developing complications from COVID-19 as well as death. Meanwhile, regulators in the UK and 4 other countries plan to fast-track the development of modified COVID-19 vaccines to ensure that drug makers are able to move swiftly in targeting emerging variants of the disease. The head of the agency, Dr. June Rain, said the goal is for future vaccine modifications that respond to the new variants be made available in the shortest possible time to UK recipients. In the meantime, the World Health Organization says a promising 6-week decline in COVID-19 cases in Europe has been disrupted by a rise in infections. Now, coming from Africa, the authorities in South Sudan say a partial lockdown brought in to reduce the spread of COVID-19 will remain in place for another month. Reports say the extension is necessary to prevent wider spread of COVID-19 across the country. Now, globally, cases now top 116 million, with Nigeria accounting for 156,963 of these cases. Moving on, the United Nations Human Rights Commissioner has called on Ethiopia to allow independent experts into the country to investigate continuing violations that may amount to war crimes in the Tigray region. Michelle Bachelet said she had received distressing reports of killings, rape, destructions, and looting. The victims, she said, and survivors must not be denied their rights to truth and justice. Talking politics, Ghana's Supreme Court.
Now we're cutting the news short as we join our Obi Van crew at the Government House, Rivers State, as they inaugurate the Government House Clinic